And as I was saying in part one is to see grown men and women, co-workers participate in how they want to break you down psychologically, which is common. Once again, there's nothing unique, nothing. They are trying to break your identity. And by the way, they also try to present themselves as some justice seekers. It's funny. They're trying, you see, as I'm doing this part one, they use like they want you to look at yourself different ways. So let's just say if you look a certain way, for example, right now, my eyes look in a certain way. I'm looking, let's just say, I'm not looking the best anymore, and I would never look the best, but let's just say if you have this way of looking, and I have like it, let's just say I do look a little eccentric, to say the least, but at the same time it's also the damage of what's happened to my body. I'm very much losing more weight than I ever had. Never been a big guy, but and so they try to use the way I look to be like, you see, don't you look like that? You're a pedophile. Proof, they look at you. Like, I love myself. I know I'm gonna be uglier than I've been before. I know, but I love myself more than ever. And your facade has been this completely dismantled. They use this teenage trash to be involved in something where they torture babies, and they'll try to like combine the way I'm looking in this picture with try to bring up, I remember what you did when you were a kid. Yeah, yep. And try to make it's like, I know who's talking to me are people who burn genitals of children and call that being mean. I know. I'm very strong like that. I'm very wise like that, and I'm being sarcastic because this is the things they do. They try to break you down. And then some trash say, child, and try to make me think of me when I'm in my youth, 18, 22, 23, going to a place with people around my age. I was like, I know you burn genitals of babies. And I know you trash low life, yelling and shouting and laughing and making this dismissal and gaslighting tactics are involved in that and called being mean. Piece of fucking low life. You're not going to redesign reality. It's going to be based on reality. This psychological game that you're playing, it's not being subscribed to. I'm not identifying internalizing this manipulation, no matter how retarded, no matter how kind of retarded you have around me, to have a lifestyle of just being clowns. I will never internalize and be subscriptive of what people burn genitals of children want me to be. I'm not going to be subscriptive to the genderness cover up, the gender camouflage, as they say. That's also doing that to women and their own children, making women with children in despair. Guys like them, people who have whole family, kids, destroy their identity when they even have kids and force them to have sexual arousal toward their own children. I'm gonna be wise like that fucking low life entitled fucks. I can be the ugliest looking person with whatever eccentric look. I will never internalize this manipulation. I know what you're doing. It feels so much, I get so much pride too. That look at me, look at little old me. I can see through this obvious fucking nastiness using this teenage trash known to be out here being clowning women, so seeing their children suffering. You make the mistake to send this trash my way. I'll be extremely wise. That's all I can say. Now, in regard to this manipulation, I will never internalize. Listen, I know what they're doing. I can admit that I can look at women in perverse way in certain circumstances, in sexual ways, like every straight man. I don't present myself as like this innocent person. I know who I am, fully who I am, the true me. No, the redesigned me that they want to redesign this perversion I can have to a woman applied to her children. From the most extreme to the least extreme. Never. No matter how they try to paint things together, to put together, it's like, you see, that's natural. This is you, a teenager. Nobody wants you, a trashy teenager. These teenagers out here mocking the lives. You send your teenager my way, I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. And not the way you want it. Because I live with the reality that you try to erase. And please send us entitled who think that if they use the proper verbiage of wokeness and whatever, you can try to cover up. Is going. I know these gaslighting methods are being applied toward women. Okay, I know. Matter of fact, women calls out the fact there's a lot more female participants, which is very smart in the regard of psychological game. They're claiming there's a more female participant gaslighting them than male because it makes more sense. Because if a male did that to a woman, you look like more predator-like situation. But if they have other female doing that to women, you know what it's going to look like? It looks like he's more, the target individual who's a female will be like, okay, well, she's more likely to go with the narrative that they try to present if a female participant in that. It's psychological game. So I know this trash doing that to me. I'm fully aware that some of them have tried to do the same thing to women. Try to make them internalize this manipulation. It makes sense. And when I say try, they're like, oh, for Britney is trash as well. All the women here are destroyed and being gaslighted to be internalizing this nasty pedophilia type of torment they force them to have, while torturing them sexually in every other way. Your gender is not going to cover up reality. I know the game behind utilizing other mothers, doing that to mothers, using female gender individual to do that, using this teenage trash to then use this trash dismissing and as we use the word dismiss, they try to counter the way they're like, oh, it's so you. That's what this female target individual is like. Yeah, they're trying mocking, gaslighting, dismissing like ways of eye rolling type of gaslighting. So for me, every day in my life, it's going to be horrible. I know. It's going to be some mental torture, psychological torture, trying to break me down. You will never make me internalize. I hold on my last breath. I know it's like whatever sufferings I went through, God, thank you. God, I could live like them. Handle them now. There's an honorable life in these sufferings. This trash, it's funny, we're like, yeah, I'm so honored. It's like, yeah, you're honored to be involved in something where you're mean to babies by burning them. That's all honor I hope you have in life. Let that be the beginning of your life of just this nasty foulness. I was glad I was putting that in your face every day. You're supposed to negate that on a daily basis. But don't, like I said, if you want to live that honorable life, get away from me. Don't come near me. Because there won't be no life to be honorable. Don't come near me with this game. That's all I'm going to say. There's too much stuff. I have too much bad thing happening to my organs to care about restraint. Don't come near me. Don't play your game around me. Don't try to gaslight me. Listen, for me, I'm not saying that if they're just standing there, no, I don't care. But the second they try to play this game that apparently they've been interacting with me in this way, they try to come. Do this, try to do that in my face. I keep saying that over and over because I don't want that to happen. But I'm putting that there because it's going to happen if that happens. And I know what it means for me. It means the end of my sufferings. But wrapping up this part 2, this is the game they play. Let's see if my this barely is the live phone can pull this. As I said, in a lot of my videos, not every video, sometimes my phone are completely not functioning. I'm sure what they do to me. Now, yesterday was more toward like the babies. Like literally like a month-old baby they're forcing me. But this time they did this thing where they tricked me and tried to trick me. And I was able to capture that, but I didn't know what they were doing that. I thought I was like, okay, even though, and as I'm saying that, it's funny. They do these things where they try to make me feel like it itch there because I'm having dry hair. And they make my skull itch because I guess they want to create like, oh, you see you uncomfortable because you're lying because you want to scratch your head. They do this stupid thing. Right? I feel like I need to itch here. But what they're doing, they were trying to play with me. But I already did, because like, this is not me. I was looking at this thing that you're going to see where there's girls in uniform, military uniform. So I thought it was like maybe soldiers, like girl soldiers. And as I'm looking at them walking, they're trying to make me look at their butt in a certain way. And in my mind, I hear, oh, look at that, look at that big butt or something like that. I'm like, that's not me. Listen, I can look at a woman like that. Let me just say this. But I felt like the forced aspect of it, like, what? No, this is not me saying that. And the reason why this was being forced onto me is I continue to watch the video, and this man talks about, okay, we're talking about the youth and this and that. I was like, okay, the youth. Is that the youth as in like the youth in college, or the youth in, the younger youth? And that was also a mental battle they tried to create. I think that's why the nose campaign is happening. But I'm looking back and I look at the crowd. I took a screenshot, like, because I could tell I look at the screenshots like, oh my gosh, they're like babies. And then it's like, oh, you like high school youth, right? And in my mind, it's like a mental game. And I was like, oh my god. And you see, there's like, they look like babies. Like whoever was in the crowd, you'll see. They're like, oh my gosh, they don't even look like in high school. They look like they're even middle school looking. Some of them. And the reason why they were trying to make me look at this kid, or these girls, I should say first, in this way, is because they're like most likely some like senior high school, some high schoolers. And that's what this like ways of thinking was being put in my brain. So they'd be like, oh, we got you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this I start seeing this here. Now, from the back here, you just see some people, like some girls in military outfits. And the way they were trying to make me look at their butts, it's like they were saying things in my mind too. It's like, oh, it's like, no, you're just forcing me. And I was like, and right now they try to make one of them over there. It's crazy how they like the one here. They try to like create some perception, really forcing me to try to look at them in the most sexual way possible. And from the back, obviously, you just see some girls in uniform, like military uniform. And then, and when you see this here, really trying, oh, give me a second. And really trying to make me, especially, I don't know, some of them are all the way there. And mind you, like, some of them look like young adultish, especially from afar. They try to make me see them in a way that's sexual. But then you see who's the crowd, and that's where you see the kids that really are kids, like babies, like this is like, and you don't like, they look really young, high school. Like even this one over there look like a, she look like a baby, like not even in high school. But you see what kind of game they're trying to play. Those girls in uniform, military uniform, that could be just like some like, they can pass for a young adults, like very young adults. Try to make me look at them in a certain way. Try to sneakily try to make me see them like that. And even as I was doing this, they try like, oh, that one over there, you see, it's just playing my brain, try to force me to see this. But they do that to like obvious babies. And as they try to gaslight me, you can hear this purpose, like, yeah, you're gonna rap for that, you're gonna die. Like the gaslighting method to make me internalize this manipulation. So kill yourself, the things they say. It's like, kill yourself. And it's the ways of gaslighting and acting in a way so I can internalize this. Now you can clearly see the things are not going that way. I promise that I maintain this wisdom. That is not wisdom, it's obviousness. But because I'm surrounded by clowns around you who wants to stay on that retardation state of irrationality, that has become being a wise person. It's like me to understand this is identity destruction. And they use this trash who've been dismantled, unmasked, dismasked to try to gaslight you. Listen, I will never paint myself as this perfect person. I know who I am, and I know what they're doing is just trying to rewire some of the perverse way I could look at women, apply them to children. It's nasty. That's what they're doing. Now, those who look close to be a woman, it's going to be easier for them to manipulate me. And they can do that to those who clearly look nothing like women, because they look so childlike. And then try to gaslight me to make me subscribe by playing things like, no, but yeah, 11 years ago, you found somebody you... who you thought was an adult. This, 3-4 block away, how old is this? They start coming up with the stories to make me subscribe to this manipulation. And there was even little babies, little kids just walking in there. They were even stimulating me toward these babies. It's a bad game, and they want you to internalize this personality. But they do things so obviously that you who would tell me you're gonna frame me, I've manipulated my brain to match the frame that you planning to have done externally. But to those who participate in this frame, let me just say this again. I'm not trying to scare you. I don't care. I just do my part. You come with what you've set up, but I want to do this in a method way of acting to give you more inspiration in your performance. That'll be your last performance on earth. And I'm okay with me also leaving the earth. Tagging me, just stay strong.